We could call this special derivatives or derivatives of special functions. So let's call it special derivatives. Special derivatives. And these are kind of the 3 or 4 functions that it's really good to make sure people have memorized. It's not obviously going to give the proof, that's all in the videos. But we might say, we might ask them, y is equal to sine of x, or actually even, well, let's just write it this way. Well, we could just make them familiar with the derivative operator. And it's really almost to make sure that they've memorized it. So we'll ask them the derivative d dx of sine of x is equal to question mark. And really, the hint here is going to be the answer. So if they click hint, they're really getting the answer. And the hint will be derivative d dx of sine of x is equal to cosine of x. And so obviously cosine of x will be a choice. Maybe sine of x will be a choice. Maybe minus cosine of x. Maybe minus sine of x. Maybe tangent of x. So all of the different things that might confuse someone who hasn't seen this type of problem before. Very straightforward. We also might do the derivative, or we should do, of cosine of x. So these are just very basic non-composite functions. It's really just to make sure that people know the derivatives of these. And then when they click in, they should get the derivative of cosine of x is equal to negative sine of x. So this should be sine of x, cosine of x. They should also get familiar with derivative d to the x of e to the x, and d dx of e to the x. And this is probably this most straightforward of it all. The hint will be d dx of e to the x is equal to e to the x. And so this should just make sure that people understand this notion. We're not going to do composite function or anything fancy here. And then the last one we'll do, so there's only going to be really 4 possible problems here. So if they get 10 in a row, they're going to see the same thing a couple of times probably. We're going to have d dx of natural log of x. And the hint here will be d dx, the derivative of the natural log of x, is equal to 1 over x. And if we want, we can throw a couple of the power rule ones in just for fun every now and then, just so they realize that they're doing the same thing. So it's really, this is the whole point of this module is just to make sure people know the derivative of sine of x is cosine of x. Derivative of cosine of x is minus sine of x. Derivative of e to the x is e to the x. Derivative of natural log of x is 1 over x. And then once we have that out of the way, we'll be able to start tackling more complicated things in future modules. And obviously, we should always make, so the choices here for natural log of x, we might even put, something like, maybe 0 is a choice, maybe 1 over the natural log of x should be a choice. Maybe the natural log of x squared. When we take the derivative of e to the x, just to confuse students, we might write something like e minus 1 times x to the e. Or I mean, just some crazy things that are absolutely wrong, but would confuse students who don't know this. So just write a bunch of creative choices for all of these. But we just want to make sure that they know this, 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 and this.